been, Jude? Yeah, I know. It's been like eons. Very special edition of Boozing with Jude. It's Thanksgiving. Well, in 2 days, it's Thanksgiving. By the time you see this, it'll be Thanksgiving. By the time you see this, it'll probably be next year if you watch it at all. But I have a very good reason for coming back and creating a drink. I was just in London visiting, not that I'm bragging, and got to spend an evening with a friend, 2 friends now, and that would be Archbishop John, to whom I've dedicated way too many of these shows, but hey, he loves it. Made me a Class A Negroni, and he said, there's a drink called the Episcopal. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And he says, it's really simple. There's only 2 ingredients, and he sent me the recipe, and my heart sank. The Episcopal. Why did my heart sink? Because those 2 ingredients are both Chartreuse. I'm going to tell you the history of Chartreuse. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the name. But what I would say first off is, if you have had Chartreuse and you're not a fan, this is not the drink for you. Number 1, $55. Number 2, $60. It's like a $120 drink. If you can't find the small bottles, which are not easy, you're buying the full ones. But there's a reason why these drinks are so expensive. Let's talk about the name first of all. Episcopal. Jude, that's like the Church of England, right? Yeah, but the reason it's called the Episcopal is that it's actually named after bishops, right? So we use the term Episcopal in the Roman Catholic Church to talk about bishops. The word comes from the Greek episkopos. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And anglicized, they took off the ep at the beginning and pos at the end, and it became piskoff, bishop. Okay, I don't know, but there you go. It means like spiritual overseer or lord. So when we talk about Episcopal, we're talking about bishops. Hey, can you understand why maybe somebody recommended that I make this drink? Okay, by the way, Max is here. She's doing okay. I was supposed to be going to the Dominican Republic this Friday for my big birthday, but I canceled it because I just couldn't leave her again. Been gone too long. Jude, your big birthday? You don't look like you're going to be 40. Yeah, right. I don't look a day over 40, right? Okay, well, maybe it's a bigger birthday than that. Anyways, back to the drink. So, I told you Episcopal. I like using the word Episcopal to talk about bishops because it ends in P-A-L. And we Midwesterners, we talk about our pal. And so, Archbishop John, and now your trusty assistant, Father Phil. Hi. For you guys, pals, here's your drink. Chartreuse. Green Chartreuse. It's probably called, I don't know how to say it, vert, V-E-R-T-E, and jaune, I don't know, yellow Chartreuse. Okay, so Chartreuse is made by Carthusian monks. Yeah. And it goes back to the 17th century, early 17th century, 1605, I believe, and it's on the bottle. There's a lot of history to this, and I'm not going to tell you all of it because, quite frankly, I can't possibly remember it, and the best history is actually on the Chartreuse site itself, which is in French, and Google Translate doesn't really help. Okay, so in 1605, these guys founded a monastery in Chartreuse, the Les Grands Chartreuse Monastery. Chartreuse means monastery, apparently, in, I don't know, the Alps of France, somewhere in the mountains. I don't know, somewhere. It's called Les Grands Chartreuse. So they're given this manuscript that's got these this list of, we'll call them herbs. And the manuscript is then developed into this elixir of life that's supposed to give you a long life. Now, it's undergone some changes throughout the years, and it's been, what's the word, counterfeited. So, French Revolution, guess what happened? Monks, get out. Catholics, get out. Monks had to get out, so they're trying to still make it, they basically make this is how they support themselves, right? But, and then in the beginning of the 20th century, again, they come back. Beginning of the 20th century, anti-Catholic attitudes, get out, and Chartreuse falls into the hands of like this secular guy who starts making and marketing it. And the Supreme Court of the United States in the early 20th century, before Prohibition, so it wasn't a prohibition, decreed that they would not allow the import of this secular guy's Chartreuse. Yay, America! Ha ha! So the monks got it back, lost it, got it back, and now they have this recipe, and it's only 2. And actually, on the back of the bottle it says 3, but on the website it says 2. 2 or 3 brothers, and they are confined by the vow of silence. Know the recipe of Chartreuse. So those guys all like are on a plane and they go down, which they won't be because they're probably cloistered. There goes Chartreuse, but it's a highly kept secret, and you might think, oh, I know what's in it. 130 herbs. Good luck. But I can tell you this. This is green because it has chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what makes it green. This is yellow because of saffron, right? And so saffron, as you know, is like Spanish gold. If you've ever tried to make paella and you had to buy saffron, you're like, what? Yeah, it's really expensive. So this one's a little bit more expensive. This one's much sweeter. This one's very herbal and vegetal. It's a great drink. I actually made, I think maybe my last video before I came back to say hi again was called The Last Word, and it has Chartreuse in it. So there are many cocktails that use it. It is the only drink, little trivia, the only drink, alcoholic beverage, that after which a color is named. So we use the color Chartreuse, right? And it comes from this. It comes from Le Grand Chartreuse. It comes from this thing. If you see at the bottle, you'll see 1605. You'll see the signature El Gagné. El Gagné was Dom Gagné. He was, I guess he would be an abbot, monk, abbot, whatever, head of the monastery. And so I think this was along the 19th century, in the 1800s, because there were so many counterfeits. They came up with their own bottle design. They put his signature on it, and what's the word? They got a patent for it. So to try to keep people from copying it, because quite frankly, you're never going to copy it. You're not going to get it right? Who knows those 130 herbs? So let's talk about the cocktail Episcopal. History, I'm going to tell you, the history came from the Carthusian monks themselves, because at one point they were putting the recipe on the back of one of their bottle of, I think, of the yellow. So they probably created the drink. We got 2 great Episcopal colors, or 2 great liturgical colors, like the regular, liturgical year. We wear green vestments. We don't, but, Episcopal people do, and presbyters do, priests. And then, we've got the gold. So we sometimes have gold vestments for very special liturgical feasts. So there you go. It's all a Catholic thing, and I'm Catholic. So Thanksgiving, thankful for my friends, thankful for my trip, thankful for a great time. For me, actually, my Thanksgiving drink is just champagne, and there's nothing to make in that, so we're going to make this one today. There's a lot of discussion about the best way to do it. 2 parts green, 1 part yellow. I'm going with Difford's Guide, which says 1 3/4 ounces of this and 3/4 ounces of this. Now, this can be very sweet. I like it, even though, I'm kind of funny about sweet, but because it kind of mellows out that real herbal, vegetal taste. So that's what we're going to do. Basically, get yourself a little glass pitcher or whatever kind of pitcher you want. Take your really cool jigger, your step jigger that was given to you by the bishop. Yeah, thanks. Still love it. Okay, so we'll put that in first, and then we'll put a little ice in. And Bob's your uncle. I still say that. You know what? I don't understand why I wasn't given a passport to the UK, because quite frankly, I should have been. I say Bob's your uncle all the time. People ask me for directions on the street in London. I'm more English than most people. Okay, so what did I say? 1 3/4 ounces? I don't know. I can't even see. There it is. 1 3/4. 1, 1.5, 1 3/4 of the green. It'd probably be easier just to do 2 ounces and 1 ounce, but I don't know. Play around with it. Who can afford to play around with it, right? You want to get it right the first time. The other thing, these bishops, they're just loaded with money. That's why they like these expensive. No, just kidding. But okay, and I said 3/4 ounce, didn't I? So 3/4 of the gold. Yeah, you know what? It's not often that I drink stuff that just like, oh, they're really good. That smells good. You're gonna like this drink. Okay, so I would say this is a good drink to get the wash line up to to throw ice down on the ground. To get the wash line up and dilute it a little bit. It's pure alcohol. And actually, we're not kidding. Let's see. 43% alcohol by volume. 55% alcohol by volume. So this can knock you on your booty. Yeah. So it's okay to give it a good stir. It's okay to let it dilute a little bit. So how have you been? Yeah, you know, went to Mexico for 8 days for work. Got kind of sick. Not the normal sickness that you would think, but I had something else. And I came back for like a week and a half and went to London for 8 days. Still didn't feel good. And as I said, I kind of postponed my Dominican Republic trip. Yeah, all because of Max, and because I didn't feel good. Because I was like, quite frankly, it's exhausting to travel right now because of, you know, the COVID stuff. You got to do testing, and it's just, you know, keep a mask on for 8 hours on a plane, and it's kind of tough, you know. So I was just ready to hang out with my dog and spending my big Sunday birthday here with Max. Happy birthday to me. Okay, guys. So I've got a Nick and Nora glass. Now, different says put it in a old-fashioned glass, which you can do, but I've got it with a big ice cube. I hope it's all gonna fit. I saw nowhere where there was a garnish for this drink. And, I mean, sometimes it's going to be close. Sometimes, there we go. When you make a drink with Chartreuse, you will see that it might be garnished with a lemon or a lime, and you certainly could do that. But since I saw no garnish, I'm not putting a garnish on because, you know, I'm not good at it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The Episcopal, the Bishop. I dedicate this to you, Archbishop John, and Father Phil. Hey, cheers. Had a great time with you guys. I mean, guys, I never shut up the whole time. I just talked and talked. And they were probably like, who is this crazy lady? But here we go. Salute. Woohoo. Okay. I confess, this is the first time I've tried this. I didn't make it ahead of time because, you know, I don't want to mess with that. But it is very, yeah, it's got a lot of sweetness to it. I might back up a little bit, me personally. So if I were making this, I might like kind of measure this out to two parts of this, maybe 2 ounces of this and maybe a ½ ounce, or just leave it at 1 3/4 ounces and a ½ ounce and back off a little bit on the sweet stuff. Unless you really like sweet. It's very thick. It's almost syrupy, but it's quite delicious. So I will not be having my after work martini tonight because I couldn't possibly drink this with 55% alcohol by volume. Holy mackerel. That's a pretty powerful drink. So I will just stick to this and, you know, and hang out and watch, you know, I get EastEnders. I get to watch EastEnders. That's my British show. So folks, it was great seeing you. Who knows when I'll be back? You know, somebody else send me an expensive drink recipe and I'll make another one. You guys have a great Thanksgiving to my American friends. And have a great weekend and, you know, happy birthday to me. Take care. See you next time.